Hi guys, welcome back to Profess and Protest. My name is Audrey. Please make sure to subscribe and like, guys. That way that the algorithms will actually push this information more out there, and to turn on your bell notifications. I think a lot of people have them turned off, and I've seen some of my subscribers say that, they forgot to turn it on, so please make sure you do that. So in today's video, I really wanted to talk about the tweet from March 11th, 2020 by Kim Kardashian West. This was something that I saw a while back, and I never made a video about it, but now that I have the capabilities and means to do it, I want to make sure I make this known. So there was a tweet, as it says right here, so you can read, Courtney just sent this on our group chat. It's from psychic Sylvia Browne, written in 2008. So let's open it up and see what it reads. Alright, just give me one moment. There we go. Okay. So, as the red circles, in around 2020, a severe pneumonia-like illness will spread throughout the globe, attacking the lungs and the bronchial tubes and resisting all known treatments. Almost more baffling than the illness itself will be the fact that it will suddenly vanish as quickly as it arrived, attack again 10 years later, and then disappear completely. And so she is propagating that the psychic that they've read and they were talking about previously, as she just stated, had predicted the coronavirus. Something I want to point out, just seeing how much they put their beliefs into psychics is showing right there. And they don't understand how damaging that is, because I know Kanye West now has one of his church services and he's putting out all that kind of stuff. He's proclaiming he believes in Jesus. I mean, only God knows his heart. That is not for me to judge. But it's weird how the wife of his is saying that, that they are looking into this, because as you would know with God, you don't look to know from psychics, and I have definitely, had my own background, so I really do understand. I'm very humbled by it, but this is obviously something that is dangerous and bad for people to be searching for a psychic to have the answers instead of God himself or the word of God in the Bible. So for me, this was something I really wanted to bring to attention, and not only that, so I wanted to disprove Sylvia Browne for people who believe in this woman. I found this article, and there's many more, not just theguardian.com. There's many more articles than just the site, but this is the one that I'm going to choose. This is why Sylvia Browne is wrong, and it's not true. Remember, Satan mixes truth with lies, and with psychics, yes, sometimes they can predict certain things, but there's always a catch to it. There's always that catch, and there's something demonic that attaches to you that almost allows that portal for that to become true when you open those doors and you go and visit psychics. And with that being said, it doesn't mean they're 100% accurate. The one thing about our God, Jesus is different. He is always accurate. Everything he says is perfect. Everything he says has come to pass and will come to pass. There is no mistaking. God is not the author of confusion. When it comes to psychics, they are the authors of confusion. And I will prove this here with Sylvia Browne, because it's going viral. A lot of people are looking up, getting her books, reading her stuff. But what people need to know who believe in Sylvia Browne as a psychic, I need to show them the other side. So, enough let me get back into this. All right, Sylvia Browne, fans lash out at psychic over false Ohio abduction prediction. Alright, one of the world's most recognizable self-proclaimed psychics was wrong yet again about the fate of a missing child, and her followers on social media are taking her to task. Browne's prediction about the fate of Amanda Berry was not her first attempt to explain the fate of a child, but her fans on social media demanded acknowledgement from the self-proclaimed spiritual leader. On Wednesday, Browne released the following through her Facebook page. For more than 50 years as a spiritual psychic and guide, when called upon to either help authorities with missing person cases or to help families with questions about their loved ones, I have been more right than wrong. If there was a time to be grateful and relieved for being mistaken, this is the time. Only God is right all the time. My heart goes out to Amanda Berry, her family, and the other victims and their families. I wish you a peaceful recovery. Guys, right there, she's giving, homage to God, but we all know God can be a broad term, and I've heard psychics say it before, which had confused me. Oh, well, they believe in God. No, it's not the same God. They believe in a God. It's not our God, though. It's not the one true God. It's not, Yeshua. They don't believe in that. They believe in their own version of what they think it is. And she acknowledges, and which is tricky, that people are like, oh, wait, she knows only God's right, so it's a spiritual gift, it's a power that she has. No, God clearly says that these are not for us to mess with psychics, mediums, and the such. And how that they talk to deceiving spirits. And remember, when we die, our souls go straight to God. We sleep for a time, and then we get risen for Judgment Day. We're not just lingering around the earth. We are not disembodied spirits that are just haunting or maybe looking over loved ones or just left behind. And the Bible even talks about that. Disembodied spirits are the spirits of, from what I believe, are the Nephilim spirits, because they had nowhere to go, and they're what we consider the demons. But enough of that. I just wanted to point that out, that, she said only God's right all the time. And yes, God is right all the time. And that's why he doesn't like humans misleading or deceiving others. And by talking to the spirit guides and things, they can only mimic God. They can only give so much. And that's just, it's great that she was wrong, but the point is they're mostly always wrong, and they always have truth mixed in with lies. And I know it can be very compelling, as I've come from my own background, things where I've been curious about stuff like that, and I've wanted to dabbled into certain things. So I do really understand, but I guess that's my point of getting it out there, so people realize that how much trickery there is in it when it comes to psychics. So on Facebook and Twitter, Browne sends inspirational messages to hundreds of thousands of fans, often advertising her latest appearances or one of her 45 books she has published. Oh my goodness, 45 books. Whew. She reached a high level of visibility after years appearing as a regular guest on Montel Williams' television show. Right there, I didn't even realize that. Montel Williams. All right. A long-running daytime talk program that subsisted on paternity test results, cheating spouses, and half-baked psychic predictions before it stopped production in 2008. I remember you on Montel Williams telling the family of Amanda Berry she was dead. So this was on the actual show, and I'm trying to find the clip so I can put it in here, guys. What do you have to say for yourself? What a horrible, horrible thing to say, family holding on to nothing but hope and faith. Can you admit that you're a hack now? Asked another. I hope today's events seal it for you. See, people are waking up, but now the coronavirus, it's rehashing that people now want to get into what she's saying and open doorways and give legal rights in that realm of where demons can't attach themselves to you. So what happened with the Amanda Berry cases right here, it's Browne announced the death of Amanda Berry in 2004 when she appeared on Williams' show to tell Berry's mother, Luana Miller, that her daughter was in heaven and on the other side, and that her last words were, "Goodbye, Mom, I love you." Miller would die a year later of heart failure. And this is heartbreaking. Oh my goodness. That's so sad. The mom died a year later of heart failure. Oh my goodness. In fact, Berry escaped Monday from a Cleveland home where she had been held captive with 2 other women for more than a decade. A child who is hers was also removed from the home, according to police. As John Ronson wrote in 2007 profile on predatory psychics, Browne has spoken face-to-face with many distraught parents and wrongly forecast the life or death. Sean Hornbeck was a missing child whose parents were told by Browne that their son was buried between 2 boulders. When he was found alive after 4 years in 2007, Browne's publicist told CNN in a written statement she cannot possibly be 100% correct in each and every one of her predictions. She has during a career of over 50 years helped literally tens of thousands of people. And this is my point, guys. When I'm showing you this stuff, I'm showing you that, and of course people go, well, nobody can be 100% right. You're right. Nobody can. We're just people. We're human beings. Not even psychics. They talk to devils. They talk to demons. They talk to people who come as spirit guides who say they're Jesus or an archangel Michael, who definitely aren't. And that's what God says, test the spirits. You will know them. I was in the hospital, and when I was working, one of the patients I was dealing with, she was psychic, and I asked her a little bit about it, because you have to be careful where I work when you talk about anything with religious beliefs or anything like that, but I definitely try to understand her perspective in a kind manner. But she told me that she works with archangels, and I said, do you know Jesus? She goes, oh yes, I know Jesus. I talk with him all the time. He's wonderful. He's such a wonderful person. He was a great messenger, but she doesn't say that Jesus isn't real, but she lumps him into the sum of the archangels and spirit guides that she works with. And this is how they get you, and it's very tricky. They can say they believe in Jesus, and not in the way of the actual biblical truth. And so I asked her, I was like, I've seen a lot of things where, these are very misleading, and a lot of the times these things will hurt you, and this is very dangerous. And I tried, kind of warning her in my own way that I could, while being on the job, while not risking, my income, which I need for myself and my family. And she stopped there, and she was saying something, it was something weird. She looked at me, and she had a card, and she was saying that bad things are coming for this year, and it was like at the very beginning of 2020, and she was like, horrible things are coming. And she was like, I've seen it. And I said, what have you seen on that side? What is it you're seeing? She said, things of like your worst nightmares, things I can't even describe. And I'm loosely quoting what I remember, because it was a quick conversation before one of the doctors had to come in there. And then I had to stop, but it was just insane. Like, there was like this fear on her face about 2020, and I almost like get to me the fear of what the psychic saw, but I realized the only fear I should fear is the fear of God. I should only fear God in a way that you fear a loving father, and also you don't want to get in trouble. You don't want to get that kind of spank, not from God. But yeah, it's very compelling though, the way they do it. And she even had a card where you could, she could train you into the art. She could train you how to have foresight, how to communicate with the spirit guides, how to do all of this stuff. And a lot of people, and I get it, it's compelling, we're a lot of lost people. We want to know answers, but all the answers, guys, I'm telling you, they are in the Bible. Even if you don't know where to go in the Bible, ask a question on Google about the end of times. Where could you find it in the Bible? There's things that you can do to try to help make sense of maybe some of your questions, or maybe ask, something for me that I really like, and I'm going to look it up right here while this is recording. Hopefully, like, people see this. So in the Bible, this is stuff I do, talks about sleeping when dead. Alright, so I'm just doing that real quick, and I'm trying to see what I can find. Alright, openbible.info, and I know it might not be the KJV, it may be New Living Translations, but either way, I just want to show you like what it says about everything. So, but we do not want you to be uninformed, brothers, about those who are asleep, that you may not grieve as others do who have no hope. For since we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so, through Jesus, God will bring with him those who have fallen asleep. Then he appeared to more than 500 brothers at one time, most of whom are still alive, though some have fallen asleep. And I heard a voice from heaven saying, write this, blessed are the dead who die in the Lord from now on. Blessed indeed, says the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, for their deeds follow them. And many of those who sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. Okay, so the one that I was really looking for right here is Daniel 12, verse 2. I'm just going to highlight that real quick so you guys see what I'm talking about right here. I was trying to find it. So, and many of those who sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. And this is something I've even discussed with people I've come across. This one woman was telling me, I don't know why this always happens at the hospital, but this one woman was telling me that her son was, she could see his passed away uncle, and she communicated, or her son would communicate with him. And I told her, I said, hey, I was like, that's very dangerous, She's like, well, my friend, she does like necromancing, speaking to the dead, and I didn't know if it was God. I was like, well, do you believe in Jesus? She goes, yes. I was like, would you mind if, I could explain a little bit to you? And I tried explaining that these familiar spirits in the Bible that they're talking about, when we die, from what I understand, and I could be wrong, but from what I've taken from the Bible is that we are in a deep sleep. We are in a deep sleep. We don't go directly to heaven. He raises us up all at the same time. First the tares, then the wheats. Well, that's at the end. But you know what I mean. I'm talking about, and many of those sleep in the dust. We're supposed to be risen for judgment. At the same time, he'll judge all of us together. The ones of old, the ones of new, the people who are from the beginning of time to the very end of it. And it will feel like a sleep. So how could our spirits be roaming around on earth? Who are these mediums and psychics talking to? And those are things that, I've always looked at, and this is how easy it is for me to, and I love the thing with the internet, to be able to search for a spot in the Bible. So you don't, even if you don't physically have one on you, if you have questions, it's so easily accessible here. Just as the internet can be used for wrong, it can be used for good. Let me see. For the living know that they will die, but the dead know nothing, and they have no more reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. And there's a lot of things just showing that the dead do not know they are dead. So thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe, like for more. I will be doing more coverage on this. I'll actually look more into this to get more helpful information. I'll put things below. So thank you again for watching, and be safe.